Okay, I'm finally going to do it. I have reviewed so many online homeschooling programs on my channel, and I think that it's finally time to let you know what I think are the worst ones out there. So today I'm going to share with you which online homeschooling programs I think are the worst that I would never use in my homeschool. And before we begin, I want to remind you that this is just my opinion. All kids are different, and if you happen to be using one of these programs in your homeschool and it's working for your family, don't let this video stop you. This is just my opinion on the programs that I would not use in my homeschool. Okay, so first on our list of the worst online homeschooling programs is Power Homeschool. I have reviewed this program on my channel several times, so I've definitely had the time to test it out and see how it all works. And it is definitely not something that I would use in my homeschool, and here's why. For one thing, the only instruction that you're going to get is through video lesson. They used to allow you to print the text versions of the lessons, but now with the new update, you can only just view those online. You can't print them out. And so the format is really just watch a video, answer some questions, watch another video, answer some more questions. So I personally just don't think it's a great idea to have your child's entire education done in just that one format. It can get really boring and repetitive pretty quickly. And I also just don't think that the questions are all that challenging. You'll see parents saying, well, my child went from 3.0 GPA in public school to a 3.8 GPA on Power Homeschool. But what I don't think a lot of people realize is that the content might just be a lot easier. You watch the video and then you answer questions basically just to check that you were paying attention to the video. But how much of that are you really going to retain once you move on to the next lesson? I also really don't like that there's not that much customization offered with Power Homeschool. Most other online homeschooling programs will let you pick which lessons you want to view or which lessons you want to skip. And they'll also let you start anywhere in the grade level that you want. So for instance, with most other online homeschooling programs, if you decide that you want to switch mid-year, you'll be able to start wherever you want in the program based on what material your child already knows. But with Power Homeschool, while you can pick a different grade level for each subject, you will have to start at the beginning of the grade level, even if you already know some of the material. There's just absolutely no way to skip over any of the lessons. So to me, that is a big problem. For an online school like Becca Academy, it makes more sense. But for a homeschooling program, there should be more customization for parents. In the past, they did have something called tutor mode that did allow for that kind of customization, but they got rid of that basically overnight without even letting parents know ahead of time, and a lot of students actually lost all of their progress. It was just not handled well at all. And honestly, I feel the same way about Becca Academy. I would not use that program either. It's really the exact same thing as Power Homeschool. You're just paying more money so that you can get transcripts and a diploma. If you really want to enroll your child in an online school, I think that there are a lot of much better options out there. Schools that will allow for more personalization and also likely have better instruction. Becca Academy might be the cheapest option for an online school, but in my opinion, you usually get what you pay for. And lastly, I have heard some kind of disturbing things about Roger Billings and the whole Acellus company. Is it a cult? Should you be worried about the content of the curriculum? I have read some pretty bizarre things. So there may be something going on there. I'm not sure, but I just cannot recommend the program. Next on my list of online homeschooling programs that I absolutely would not use is Discovery K-12. I've never done a full review of this online homeschooling program on my channel, but I have mentioned it in some of my other videos. And the reason that I've never done a full review video is because honestly, there isn't all that much to review. In my opinion, it's more like a list of assignments than a homeschooling program. Each day you log on, you see what the assignments are, and you check them off as you complete them. There may be YouTube videos to watch, there may be online articles to read, there may be assignments to complete on your own, but Discovery K-12 does not have its own curriculum. It is a free program, so I do understand why a lot of families use it. And it's certainly something that you might want to make use of if you want to give your kids some independent work. But there is not any customization to it. You just pick a grade level and then just start on day one and keep going. You can click on any day you want, but there really isn't any reason to skip around. And even though it's free, if you want any kind of tracking and reporting, then you'll have to pay $99 a year. So while this might be an okay resource to use in your homeschool, I would just not recommend relying on this as your only curriculum that you use for your children. Next on my list of the worst online homeschooling programs is Becca Academy. And this time it's for a different reason than the reason that I won't recommend some of the other programs that I mentioned. Instead of their curriculum not being comprehensive enough, I find it to actually be just too much for most kids. And at least if you just buy the Becca curriculum and teach it yourself, then you can skip some things and tailor it to fit your individual child's needs. But if you use all of the video lessons and have your child just follow along in their book, it's going to take up a lot of time. The videos are long and they are also old-fashioned and, in my opinion, kind of boring. Your child will basically be watching a video of an actual class. So the video is just as long as the class would be for each subject. It's also quite expensive. While they do have a video-only option when you go to purchase it, don't let that fool you. Your child will absolutely still need the books. They just have this option for people who may already have the books at home, either because you used them for another child or had a friend that gave them to you. But if you aren't lucky enough to have the books on hand already, you will be paying over $1,000 a year per student. So that's just not really affordable for a lot of homeschooling families. And in my opinion, one of the best things about homeschooling is how much extra time that you have in your day. Homeschool kids can complete their work so much faster than kids in traditional school simply because of the teacher-student ratio and because kids can work at their own pace. But if you're using a program like a Becca Academy and having your child watch each video for each subject every day, it's going to take a long time. Honestly, even if you teach it yourself, it's still a very intensive curriculum. When you're homeschooling, you absolutely do not have to try to recreate school at home. In fact, I really suggest that you do not do this. And with a Becca Academy, it really just seems like school at home. So I don't recommend this program. The next program on my list of online homeschooling programs that I would not use is ABC Mouse. And I actually did use ABC Mouse for my oldest daughter when she was about 5 years old. I was much newer to homeschooling then, and I had heard so much good stuff about it. I really thought it would be a great way to get her started on learning the basics of math and reading, but it honestly didn't end up teaching her much of anything at all. If you try out the ABC Mouse program or watch some of the reviews of it, like the one that I have on my channel, it really does seem great. There's so much content, there's so many things your kids can do. It really makes you feel like you're getting your money's worth. And if you're just looking for a cute little educational app, something for your kids to do during the day while you get some stuff done, then it's fine. But if you're actually hoping for it to teach your children reading and math skills, then I wouldn't bet on it unless maybe you're doing it with them. It's just way too busy, and there are too many ways for your kids to end up wasting a lot of time on it without really learning anything. When my daughter was using it, the only thing she really liked to do was to play with the pets in the pet park. And while you do need to complete some of the lessons so that you can get tickets, so that you can purchase the pets and do other things like that, I don't think that you need to complete all that many of the lessons in order to have fun. And even then, with all the fun stuff to do, my daughter still got bored of it pretty quickly. I don't think that we had it for more than a couple of months. Now, again, I'm not saying that it's bad as far as a kid's learning app goes. I think it's perfectly safe and fun for kids to use. It's just not that great to use as a homeschooling program. Sadly, Homeschool Plus, which was created by the same people that created ABC Mouse, but was designed specifically for younger homeschoolers, is no longer accepting new members. I'm honestly not sure why, because when I tested it out, it really seemed like a great program. So it's really too bad that you can't get that anymore. But if you're looking for an early learning program to use in your homeschool, I think that Hooked on Phonics is probably a much better choice than ABC Mouse. You get phonics and reading plus math and spelling all included for one price. And there isn't anything else included to distract from the main learning program. So those are the online homeschooling programs that I personally would not recommend. And as I said earlier, that doesn't necessarily mean that they won't work for your family. All kids and families are different. But overall, I just personally can't recommend these programs as something that I think you should use in your homeschool. I think there are just much better options out there. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments what you think are the worst homeschooling programs. Thank you so much for watching.